So, welcome to the inside of Little Devil, my E46 330i. Today I'm going to be doing a long overdue job that I've had the parts for a while, but every time I've had time off or spare time to myself, it's been absolutely hammering down in horrendous weather. So today I'm going to be changing the rocker cover gasket on top of the engine, or the cam cover gasket as some people know it. It's going to be a little bit of a how-to, more of a project car update, because I've already covered how to do your rocker cover gasket on a BMW E46, which is very much the same, and that was with the M54 B25 engine. So if you, the main difference is that one had a single Vanos unit on there, variable valve timing unit, and this car, being the E46, a slightly newer model, has got dual Vanos on it, or double Vanos. So stay tuned, you will learn how to do it on this car if you'd like to. I'll say if you've got the E36 or would like it slightly more in depth, I imagine it will be, then have a look at the E36, how to change a rocker cover gasket. I will try and put a card on the video right here somewhere, or here, wherever it appears on your screen. So I hope this helps some of you guys out, and I hope you enjoy this project car update slash how-to video, and yeah, stay tuned for more. The rocker cover or cam cover is this part that carries on underneath there and goes underneath that cover there and underneath this cover. So, and the gasket is this part here, and as you can see, it's covered in oil. It does feel a little bit rubbery still on my one, but it's obviously leaking, so it's no good. So on this car it's a little bit different to the E36 because we've also got these in the way, and of course on mine I've also got a strut bar that I need to take off to get better access. So yeah, I'll do that now. Just as a cue. But yeah, so now this is the kind of the bonnet layout you can see on the standard BMW 330. This is also exactly the same for the 320, 323i, 325i, 328i, and of course my one, 330. It's all exactly the same sort of configuration. Right, so the next parts we're going to take off is these plastics are in the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is this wiring is literally lifted up both sides. They just literally slot onto those clips there. So that's that one off. Also then, this is where your pollen filter will be. You take these clips, turn them about 90 degrees, and they should pop up then. Slide this forwards like so. There's my pollen filter, needs to be replaced big time, but yeah, that's how you get your pollen filter out on these. Now the final bit is to take this part out. And I don't know if you can see very well, but there is 4 T30 bolts, Torx bits, and once you take them out, this should lift out the way. Now, in the same way that the other one lifted up, should be up, forwards, and out. Right, so on this part, we're going to be taking these two covers off next, and as you can see, there's actually a bolt cover missing further back there. Hopefully you can see it on camera, but we're going to take these off first. What you do, use a flat blade screwdriver to pop them up. There's 4 of them. They're always in line, and there's 2 on each cover. Underneath these you've got 2 10mm bolts on this cover, 2 10mm nuts on the other. And these ones have got these little notches on there, so they kind of slide underneath the fuel rail there. That's actually, no, sorry, not the fuel rail. It's part of the recirc, I think, system. Now to take this cover off, we're going to have to remove oil filler caps. Be very careful not to drop anything in there. And this one will slide over the top. Just drop the 10mm. Then I'm going to put this back on so nothing does go in there. Now this exposes all of these ignition coils, and also it yeah, just you can see this is the full rocker cover now. First thing we're going to do is remove this one. Be very careful, because if yours has not been removed before, I mean I've changed mine a little while ago, but if yours has never been changed, it might be very brittle. So you push on here at the bottom, and work it gently to come out. There we go. I'm going to put a bit of lube on mine, just because that rubber seal has gone very dry. Right, and now we've got these 6 coils to take out. I just wanted to show you a quick overview from this angle so you can see it a bit better. Each coil has got 2 10mm bolts, but if you look, this one for cylinder 1 has got an earth lead on it. There's also this wire that comes to the wiring harness, which goes to that stud there next to coil for cylinder 3, but also coil 6 has got an earth strap on there, so don't forget that they put them back on afterwards. So 1 and 6 have earth straps, number 3 has the earth for the wiring harness. So, and also to get these up, I usually use a screwdriver, but sometimes you can be lucky and just lift up those metal pieces here, and then this just pulls out like there. And you may have different coils on your E46 depending on the year. Mine is the older model, pre-facelift, so it's got this type. Some of them have a coil with a triangular connector, 3-pin connector on it, but they are very much the same. It's just the connectors come off ever so slightly different. Now these coils should just come out quite easily, like that. Sometimes you might need to give them a little bit of pressure, a little bit of persuasion, just by giving them a lever up with a screwdriver, but they should just come out nice and easy. And what I like to do is leave the bolts in them and lay them out 1 to 6 so I know exactly where they're going. So after this, I'm going to be removing these earths, because they're held on with 10mm nuts that go on the top. Try not to, make sure you don't lose the 10mm nut, and make sure you don't lose these earth straps as well. Oh no, I apologise, they must be 8mm nuts. Sorry. Right, now next thing we're going to do is remove this piece of wiring with the connectors for the coils. This is just pushed down in, so sometimes you can get it to come up nice and easy, other times you need to use flat blade screwdriver, but you should be able to persuade it gently to come up like that. So there we are, and this can actually be moved completely out of the way now. Over here I usually put it, and that is awesome, it gives us more room. Now that's gotten it exposed, this vac line now, which is also held into the rocker cover with a couple of clips, so we need to pull this one out of the way. And as you can see, it goes right around the back of the rocker cover, so if you don't move that one out of the way, it can become a bit of a pain later on. So what I usually do is like to disconnect it completely from all of the clips, just so then you can kind of push it down and out of the way rather than up and out of the way. Or you can move it that way if you'd rather. Get a couple of bolts on the back, but when I take it off I usually move it back this way, just because then I'll lift it up in that way. But now we are ready to undo the 10mm bolts which hold this on. Then we can lift the whole thing up and out off of the engine, and then we can change the gasket, which should stick to this. And then to do these up, they have a very specific order, but under it I'm just going to go start from the middle and go in like a clockwise sort of fashion, because I know that's the way we used to do it a lot with head gaskets and things like that back in the day. So start off here, one in the middle. Obviously these ones with a stud on go in the middle, so we need to remember. So now we lift this off. There is a couple of places on this, like if you look here, there is actually a flat underneath, so if you need to, you can use a bit of a prying action with the bar, but try to be careful because remember this is plastic. So what I usually do is try and move this pipe out of the way, grab hold of this bit to see if I can work it back and forth by my hands. This is going to need a bit of gentle persuasion. Try not to pry on anywhere that comes into contact with the mating surface. Just gently work it back and forth. Eventually it'll come out no problem. And be very careful of the wires I said about last time on the back. Here we are. And go careful because you do get pieces, always look, you get pieces like this left behind. So, it's become quite brittle and quite tough. Go very careful not to put anything into any of this. Right, so now I'm going to take these pieces off that I put on before. Somebody's actually said to me don't ever put the sealer in these, you should leave it just as the gasket, so I'm going to try that this time because last time I put the sealer in but I found that it didn't last. I don't know how good you can hear me because of all of the yard work that's going on around here, but if you ever need to get rid of some of these extra bits which are left on, and the razor blade's got it down as far as you can get it, just a household scourer is always good. You can get slightly lighter ones than this from the motor factors, but I always find if you get them from the supermarket, they're actually usually cheaper, so I'm using that and some of the brake clean just to clean it up properly, and then this surface is ready and I can just fit the new gasket then. Cover it set and the gasket. As you can see, you've got these pieces here. Yeah, I was an idiot, I put way too much stuff on these. This one is very plasticky. There's not much rubber left on these, so pull this one off. Clean inside of there then. And these only go one way. You'll see that when you put it on because of the shape of the rock cover, so you can't get these the wrong way around or anything like that. This one is rubbish. So, and then see that's gone on plastic as well. Don't forget to take the middle ones out. Right, there we are. Some brake cleaner on here. Start having a look to see. Just make sure that all of this stuff is out of the inside of there. again, excuse the noise, but what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be making sure I spray some maintenance spray on these to lubricate them so they're not going in dry. It'll just help them seat better and also just help them seal a bit better as well. Just make sure you're careful of what sort of spray you're using, but yeah, it should be good once it's in there. These only going one way. You have to keep note of where the bolt holes are on it. 2 rows of 3 of these. Yeah. Slot them straight in there. Absolutely lovely. Way that to start with. Yeah. You can put a bit in the actual channel as well if you want to make it a bit nicer. And then turn this around the other way. Start routing it in. It's getting quieter now, but yeah, again, these only go one way. As you can see as well, there's a cutout in this rubber seal here which goes to the outside. It should seat itself in there nicely. Hold itself in. It's a good idea. I mean, if you're going to get a lot of chemicals in the oil, it's a good idea to change it, which is my next plan for the car at some point very soon. I'll be changing the oil after this anyway and having a new filter. Right, there we are. Let's those in. As you can see, so they fit lovely. And you're going to have to watch these domes when you're putting it back in. You have to make sure they really do seat perfect. Alright, what I'm doing to lubricate this part of the seal is using a bit of engine oil. Let's dip my finger in some, and this should help it. Again, help it seat, help it sit properly. In the right way. Right, here's a little tech tip for you as well. Whenever you've got access to them, always just double check your spark plugs. Because I have had mine come apart before, well, not come apart, I've had mine come loose before, sorry, and it caused it to make like horrible knocking noise. I thought it was the engine had gone, but turned out it wasn't. It was just the spark plug was coming loose and it was trapping around the edge. But ever since then, I've always double checked just to make sure. So yeah, always double check those spark plugs. Now I'm just going to delete the fault codes, reset the engine adaptions and see how she runs. There we are, guys. I hope that helped some of you out. If it did, then please let us know by hitting a like and subscribe below this video, and stay tuned for more content, more hints and tips coming on a multitude of different cars. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.